So here's an example of advanced zone drawing and trailing stops to new events, and then off of the original event, and then actually adding as well. So this was today, July 3rd, 2023. You can see right at the open, first threshold event in soybeans, 164, right around 634, 834 central. So we'll draw this zone first. Remember, as always, take your bubbles off, use the last price line as we talk about in other videos. And I actually went a little lower, as you can see, so you want all the prices in the spike. Let's move that down a tad here. So that's the first event. So again, depending on what you're looking for, whether it's aggressive or the conservative entry, the two different entries that we talk about, either way, this did both, as you can see here. So just off this century, just off this iceberg alone, you can see it definitely, the ATR at this time was right around 4 points, 4 cents. So you can see here, this definitely went 4 points, went about 6 points, it came back, retested. Well, another event happened after this came in. So how you can draw this and trade this is you now can draw the event off of this, or draw the zone off of this event, and then you trail your stop to this event, and then actually trade the same. So if you're trading, if you're waiting for the conservative entry, you would be going short there, and then the new event comes in, draw that. So again, let's get these prices in, and we had two spikes here. This one was 252, and then you had another 248. I would just incorporate both of these into one zone, which we will do here. So that came up to about there on that. And you can see on the on chart, this is one house, and it continued to come in after that. You see this yellow line. I have my on chart icebergs as yellow. So that was this, and then somebody had more to buy here. So that's that. Let's actually change this color. So that's how I would draw that zone. So the way you want to do this is, we're first again trading off the first event, right? Here's your ATR, your retest failure. Well, this was the new event. So you would trail your stop based off of this new event, off of the first entry that you got in on, right? So ATR is right around 4. So this actually is a great example of, this didn't get an ATR above here to stop you out. Even if we weren't stopping out in the middle of the zone, which I highly recommend you get your stops outside of the zone, as we talk about in another video. But this was not 4 cents. This 4 cents would have been 76.50, so you would not have been stopped out there. But say the ATR was, 2.5, which puts you at 75 for the stop out. Well, I would still move it out. You don't want to be stopping out in prior volume events, as we discussed in another video. So either way, you're alive off of this event. Then you have the new event, and you're able, your first stop is up here, your original stop is up above, the 4 cents above here, so you're right around 79. Well, you're going to bring it down to now 4 cents above here, which would, I'm sorry, so 76.50. So you're already saving yourself 3 cents of risk trailing your stop to this newest event. And then what you can do, as these events unfold, this was another 185 here, so you would draw that, and you do the same exact thing as you did on the first event, and the second one, I should say. So you can see that she popped up to here, down to there. Let's change this color again, just so we can. It's getting a little trickier because I'm colorblind, so we'll do the best we can to separate these. I can't remember what I picked here. I think it was that, something like that. Good enough to show you guys. I think that's right. Okay, so now you have another event, right? So now you can trail your stop based on the third event. So we had our stop above here. Now this comes in, and you can move it. Again, the ATR is right around 3.5, 4. You can move it above there. So that would, this is where you have to make a decision. If you're going to trail your stop, you'd probably be right in the middle of the zone. So I'd move it just out of there. But let's see, well, let's just even get an official ATR. So this was at 642 Pacific, 842 Central. So that was right around this time here. This was, you see the ATR 3.71. So about 3 3/4 points outside of this zone would put you at 74.50. So you could stop out of this normally. Because it is in front of the zone, you're not stopping out of the zone. So again, my stop was way up here. I moved it down off of this one, right? And then this new event came in, and now I'm moving the stop, trailing the stop based on this new event. And then you get, here's your ATR, here's your retest, here's your failure. You can go short off of that one with the stop in the same spot. So now you got 2 positions on, potentially 3. So if you took a short off of, actually, I'm looking at this closer. No, that did not get an ATR below here. I was thinking you get ATR retest failure off the second event as well. But the third event, you definitely got the ATR retest. You could have shorted that event as well. And then you're holding on to it. You can see this move down pretty significantly. And then you actually had more ice here. So let's see what this was. So you keep doing this. This is the proper way to trail your stops based on things that are happening in the market, right? So that would be that. That would be that. I gotta change the colors again. Let's go back to light blue here, or whatever color that is. So that's how I would have that. And you can see this looks like, once again, so this is another event. So here's your ATR retest failure again. So this is your third position you could put on here. But now what you would do, so you'd have 3 positions on. The first 2 obviously were nice winners, and now you get a threshold event here, and you're trailing your stop to this. This was now sell ice. Now we draw that event. That was basically there. I wouldn't count that, but I would count there. I mean, you could, this did keep coming in. I mean, you can go down here, and that would get most of that as well. Not quite, but that's how I would pretty much draw this on. You could narrow that up where it actually got to threshold, but it kept coming in here. So it's good enough that this didn't matter in this instance. You're just as far as the bottom of the zone. So remember, you're trailing your stop based on the newest events. So that's that. So at this time of day, that's 7:20. It was probably around 3.5, 4 cents. Just confirm here, be official. 7:20 was right there. 4 cents, 4.11. So 4 1/4 cents. So this one, when you get all these stacked up zones, obviously you don't want to be, as a rule of thumb, you don't want to stop into prior events. But I mean, when you have prior event, I mean, you don't want to be. You just got to take your medicine when it comes back, right, and say, okay, I'm out. And you would have stopped out right in the middle of the zone, but it's still, you made profit on 2 of the 3 trades, and then you lost probably a little bit, not much actually, probably a couple cents on the third event. So that's where I would stop out, trailing stops to the newest event. So that was the newest event, this black zone. Your stop would be 4 1/4 points above here, 62.50. So you'd have been out right there. You lost maybe a cent or 2 on the third trade, but you made nice profit on the first 2. So that's advanced, trailing your stops and adding. But this happens all the time. Remember, trail your stops based on things that happen in the market, not arbitrary for what you want to lose.